Nicholas again, and I'm glad you made it through the first two episodes of the basic typography tutorial. So we've talked about the most basic letters, the ones with the straight lines and just straight lines entirely, actually, the ones that have to do with a direct 90 degrees and 180-degree lines. Those are this. Well, we've come onto the, should I call it, slightly scary parts of calligraphy. Yeah, slightly scary part. The letters that have to do with the angular lines, with mixture of the with a mixture of the straight lines of 90 degrees and 180 degrees. So just for reference purposes, let's just put them like this. So as a child, when I learned calligraphy at the age of 12, 13 years. I learned calligraphy at the age of 13. Sorry, typography. I keep saying calligraphy, but I learned calligraphy at 15, but I didn't get to learn it much because I had to switch school and all that. But let's just get back to what we're talking about. Typography, I learned it at the age of 13, between 12 13. That was in my GS1 and GS2. While people in SS1 were learning it, that was when I was learning typography. So, and back then when I was learning typography, the letter K, you see this letter K gave me headache. This letter K, this is not the very basic typography letter A. This particular one you see here, it's not a very basic typography of letter K. Well, there's this letter that I did not add here. If you notice, there are three letters that have this same style, but they are not here. The letter A, the letter M, and the letter W. And you see the letter A. The letter A, the letter A is for a separate video of its own. The M and W will be a separate video of its own. There'll be the video, I think I'll put them here when I make that video. But those three letters, okay, these two are similar, very similar. While this one, there's a reason why it's a bit separate from the rest. Though, okay, let's just put it all in here. I'll put it with the V. And you'll see why I put it with the letter V in a minute time. I'll put it right here. Okay, so there we go. Like I said, if you are using a notepad or a gridded paper, even if your paper is plain, you could create a grid system yourself by using rulers and a protractor or a compass. Just make a 90-degree angle and create this grid yourself. You can still learn it on paper if you want to. It's the same thing. I would also try to make a video with paper if I ever get the equipment to do that. But for now, I'll definitely get the equipment to do that. So what am I saying? I'll make a video about that when I get the equipment. For now, we're going to start with the simplest of them all. And the simplest here is the letter V. And then beside letter V is letter A. But let's just start with the simplest of them all. So I'm creating the letter V using the shape builder tool. When I say shape builder tool, it means when I say the shape builder tool, if you're using a paper to learn, you just color the parts that I color together and then leave the rest and erase it. The parts I erase. That's just the difference of taking this artwork to paper. So, but before we use the shape builder tool, we need angled lines, right? So the letter V is very simple. As you can see, it starts from the very top. So with the line tool, it starts from the very top, right? All the way to the bottom. Another line from the very top all the way to the bottom. Now, if you are looking here, you're definitely going to make a big mistake. because the difference between, you see this artwork, this Adobe's basic typography is called Mirad Pro. It consists of more grids than this, so it just intensify the grid and they're able to get slimmer stems in their letters. So let's just take this particular one, so us to get our very own size. This is where the trick comes in for angular letter typography. So if I should take this and go all the way down and put it right in the middle, if you could definitely see right from the onset that it is absolutely not correct, because the letter got slimmer at the bottom. It's not uniform as compared to the top. So the trick here is that this is not the way to go about it. The way to go about it is this. Since the line is angular, it's rarely going to have edge to edge. Rather, it's going to be having edge to center. Just like it touched the center here. It's not supposed to touch the center here. It was supposed to touch the center here. And you go up. Did you see that? So this is why I said this one messed me up as a kid. Like, not the V, the letter V was simple. You see this letter K? When we get there, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You get to understand fully well why I say the letter K messed me up as a kid. Not really a kid, as a teenager. Not really a kid, as a teenager. It got me like frustrated, and I'll show you how it got me frustrated. So just to emphasize the difference, I'll put in the wrong one here for you to observe. So I'm noticing something that it's not supposed to be. Yeah. So let's grab our shape builder tool and shading. Alright, so I'm going to first shade the wrong one. So you see it. Not really wrong per se. It's not wrong if I should say. It's more like it's stylized. It becomes stylized. So if you want to be using this style for a style of typography, for a style of logo, a style of design, you need to keep the uniformity. That it gets slimmer at some point and thicker at some point. But we are not currently making something like that. We are making the very basic one. So the very basic one has completely equal width in the letters. So there you have it, the very, very basic one. Right now I'm currently second guessing the letter A. I was supposed to teach you guys, because you see the letter A has a little bit of technicality to it, but it's the same thing as the V. Similarly, just a whole lot of technicality involved in it. So I guess what we'll do is, let's just take away the A to make this video shorter, and we'll do the rest. Now the next simplest letter here is the letter X and the letter Y, and it's simple because all you just do is you're just crossing up, top to bottom, same thing for this side, top to bottom. That was a mistake, top to bottom. So the edge to the second to the edge, the edge to the second to the edge. And when we pull out our what's going on? Sorry. Oh, okay. I forgot to add a stroke to this one. So when we pull out the shape builder tool, we just put our shape builder tool and touch every crook and cranny in this place. You can see how simple it is, how easy it is. There, basic letter X. The letter Y. Now the letter Y is exactly the same thing as the letter X. You could do it exactly the same thing, or rather exactly the same way, or you could just stop where you needed to stop, which is right at the center. That's just the difference. And to make this more into perspective, when we pull this on, now the letter Y does not extend all the way to the bottom. Instead, it now goes down like this. It doesn't go sideways, left or right and all that stuff. It just goes there, here and down, side, side and down, side, side and down. So the basic letter Y. The basic letter Z. There's a reason why I'm keeping this and this, the K and the N for the last set of stuffs, for the last set of work. I'm removing that because that's supposed to be the letter A. So the letter Z is similar to this, similar to the X, but you don't start from the very top. Instead, you just, since it has, let's try something new. Since it already has this and this, right? The only thing we were thinking of is how to get this angular curve. So there's no other way to get the angular curve other than put it here and put it here. There's absolutely no other way to get it. It's that simple. Oh, sorry, I forgot to switch on the color. So there it is. Now I know you're saying this looks slimmer than this, right? So let's recreate that artwork again. So if you said let's go halfway, right? The reason why you think it looks slimmer at first was because it's more like your eyes. I don't even need to shade it up for you to know that this one is wrong. Right? So the correct way is actually this. The exact thing we did before. This is the correct one. We've built the major ones. Now it's time for the scary guys. The scary guys, the reason why I call them the scary guys is because they do pack a scare. They do pack a scare. They will make you fear a little bit when you're making it. Now the letter N, let's face the letter N first before we do the letter K. The letter K is similar, it's quite complex, but it's less complex to the letter N. So let's do it the way we made the letter Z. We know fully well that for the letter N, this and this are completely shaded, right? Now how do we get this angle in the middle? It's similar to the way we got the angle here, but for the letter N, there is a difference. Yes, there is a difference. There's a difference because it doesn't go all the way down. It doesn't hang here either. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play a try and error method with you. So let's just do a try and error method. We'll play with the line till we get the correction. So let's put it here and here. Now you see that extreme inaccuracy. So what do? We take the lines halfway. This should be about halfway, and this should be about halfway. It's still inconsistent, so we'll take it all the way to the anchor points. Now, I know you're thinking this is accurate, it's similar with this, but no, it is not. The difference between this and this is that the space between here and the space between here is different. This is just 1 bar space, and this is 3 bar space. They are very, very different. So what is the next option? We go halfway again. Now, are you seeing that the letter is beginning to rear its head properly? At the halfway mark, we have what we're looking for, don't we? So there it is. If you were looking to create Netflix, well, this is where you could come from. I wanted to show you something, but I just thought about it is of no use. I'll show you when we move further into complex typography design using the basic typography to create the complex ones. I won't be teaching this again, the complex typography. I'll just make it straight up and then we'll go on from there. So now for the final and most scary boy, the letter K. I will spend so much time in this video. I'm feeling like we should take it to another video. We've spent so much time here, but let's just get the K out of the way because it's not as hard as I'm making it seem. That's interesting, but it's still difficult though. For me as a child, it was difficult. We have this straight one. That's the first thing. We have a straight one. Now to create the outer ones is where to create the 2 angles touching each other is where the fear comes in. Now take the reason why we're always looking at this is showing us what K is, but this is not the basic K. Don't forget that. So let's just pull on something. Sorry for that. Yeah, so let's just head straight into the letter K. If I take the very first one and put it, I'm sure you're thinking, put it here, put this one here. Now the problem is if I put this here and put this here, it absolutely doesn't give you a K. You can notice this does not exist in the letter K. And I know inside of you is now thinking, oh, let's just take this and put it, let's just take this, and extend it as much as possible. And then we take this and extend this to where it touches, right? You are quite correct, but the correct thing is you actually just look for the center of this line and look for the center of this line. So it's actually easy, but as a child, the mistake I made was I was putting it here. And it really, really messed me up. Like, I kept wondering why it wasn't working. Oh, If only I had settled down to listen. It was an assignment, so teacher actually taught us the next day that it's done this way and not the other way around. So there you have it, the basic y, basic v, x, y, z, n, and k. That's it for k, n, v, x, y, and c. Catch you on the next one.